Hello and welcome to this October edition of Property News. Today I'm going to give you an update on the UK economy, talk about what's happening right now in the property market and give you some real investor insights for the next couple of months. So my name is Tony Law from Your First Four Houses, and my channel is all about helping you replace your job-based income with just a few properties so that you can give up the day job if you wish and go and do something more interesting with your life, like setting up a charity. If this is your first time here, be sure to subscribe to the channel and click that bell notification icon so that you don't miss out on any of the free content that I give you each and every week. So let's kick things off by looking at the economy first of all. According to the Lloyds Bank Business Barometer, which is a monthly survey of 1,200 larger companies, business confidence has hit a high not seen since April 2017. This is based on their perception that the economic recovery is building strongly back to pre-pandemic levels. Inflation rose to 3% in August, up from 2.1% in July, and is now expected to rise above 4% by the end of the year. This is fueled by rising energy costs and the supply chain crisis, which is having an impact on the economic recovery. However, despite the inflation forecast, the bank's Monetary Policy Committee have decided to hold interest rates at 0.1% for the time being because, and I quote, they feel a rate rise is not yet needed. Government borrowing was higher than expected in August, hitting 20.5 billion, which although 5.5 billion lower than in August of last year, is still the second highest figure for August since records began. Retail sales fell by 0.9% in August, which is actually the fourth monthly drop in a row and follows a 2.8% fall in sales for July. Food store sales also fell 1.2% in August. This is partly due to the removal of restrictions on hospitality, which has obviously meant that more people have been eating out, but it's also due to supply chain issues as well. Speaking of which, at the time of recording we are seeing fuel shortages and there's some dramatic talk of empty shelves in the run-up to Christmas because the UK is currently short 100,000 HGV drivers. In fact, job vacancies have hit a record high as the economic recovery continues, according to the Office for National Statistics. The number of vacancies in the 3 months to August rose above 1 million for the first time since records began, and it also showed employee numbers were already back at pre-pandemic COVID levels. A BBC report in September suggests most people believe many workers will not be returning to the office full-time after the pandemic. 70% of the 1,700 people that were polled predicted workers would never return to the office at the same rate. However, some of the bigger firms, including the likes of Apple and Goldman Sachs, are really pushing back on this, stating that workers staying at home adversely affect both creativity and collaboration. By the way, I would love to hear what your view is on this if you regularly travel into work. If you were given a choice, would you choose to spend more time working from home? And if you did, do you honestly feel that you would be just as productive? I'd love to read your thoughts on this. Please comment below. By the way, if you're finding this video in any way helpful, I would just really appreciate a thumbs up. If you click on that like button, it really helps me if that's okay. Let's move on to property. Asking prices on property in September hit yet another all-time high, up 0.3% in the month. According to Rightmove, first-time buyer-type properties were up 0.2% on the month. Second steppers, as they call them, were up 0.5% on the month. And at the top of the ladder, prices were up 0.6% on the month. We are currently looking at the hottest ever competition to buy. Demand is double what it was at pre-pandemic levels. So please don't beat yourself up too much if you can't find those incredibly cracking deals out there on Rightmove. Power buyers are out muscling those who still need to sell. People have got cash, ready to buy, are able to pounce in and grab those good deals when they appear on the market, as opposed to people who of course have to get mortgages, which is why I'm always encouraging people to get their finances in order before they go out there and start to look for cracking deals. But now more homes are coming onto the market for sale, and this is starting to slowly balance out demand. New listings in the first 2 weeks of September were 14% higher than the last 2 weeks of August, with furlough finally coming to an end on the 30th of September, by the way, combined with a cut to universal credit and a continuing freeze on housing benefit support, I honestly think it's likely that we're going to see more tenants accruing unsustainable debts. This in turn will undoubtedly lead to more rent arrears. But is this the big cliff edge that we keep hearing all about? Personally, I don't think so, because buyer demand, low cost of borrowing and the changes in homeowners' preferences continue to buoy this market up, don't they? But with that said, again, I would really love to hear your thoughts on this, so please take a moment to comment below. However, as we all know by now, the high street is sadly going in a very different direction, isn't it? With more than 8,700 chain stores having closed in the first 6 months of this year alone, which I've worked out is an average of about 50 outlets a day. Okay, let's move on to some investor insights here. And just before I do, I've got to just quickly say these are just my personal views and I may well be wrong. You've got to do your own due diligence on everything that I talk about in these videos, and especially do your own due diligence when it comes to any deals that you may be considering. So first things first, the obvious one, demand continues to outstrip supply. So I honestly think you should be looking for deals off market, and that's what we talk about all the time in the Online Property Masterclass program. I honestly think this is where you're going to find cracking deals that aren't already on Rightmove, aren't already with agents. So please start to focus your energy in this direction. The SDLT holiday ending appears to have made little difference to the market, doesn't it? And I remember talking about this ages ago and saying, well, of course, when that comes to an end, everything's going to change, but clearly not. I honestly think you need to get your finances ready, or you are going to be muscled out when a cracking deal goes on the market. So I'm going to ask you now, what can you do this week to get your finances in a position where you could pounce on a deal were that to come on the market the following week? What can you do? There is stuff that you can do, and if I can help you, give me a call and I can talk through exactly how you can get yourself in that kind of positive financial position. Hybrid working is here to stay, in my opinion. So I honestly think you need to be thinking, how can you benefit from this? I don't mean you as a person, I mean you as a property investor. What kind of things should you be thinking about moving forwards that will make your properties more appealing to anybody that's going to be working from home? Property networking events are finally reopened. Now, as many as you know, I used to run Bournemouth Property Investors Network many years ago. 7 fantastic years, loved every bit of it. Property networking events are now back open again. I think you should be going to these. It's a cracking opportunity to build some knowledge, yes, but more importantly, build some great connections. Do some research. Where are the property networking events in your area? There's loads of different groups that organise these. I don't care which one you go to, but I honestly think you should be going to some. I'm really encouraging people to walk the streets. Now, you may have seen my recent video that I did where I walked around for about an hour in Bristol, and I was astounded by how many potential deals I found that admittedly weren't on the market at the moment, but I'm going to start writing to some of these people now and see if I can nail down a fantastic off-market deal. You should be doing the same. And on this note, lastly, can I be of any help to you in any regard with any of the stuff that we're talking about here? Either in terms of one-to-one coaching, which I do a lot of, or of course my online property masterclass program. If I can be some help, reach out to me, send me an email. I'd be delighted to see if I can give you some help moving forwards to get you to nail down your first 4 houses.